Hey guys, my name is Bryson Sessions, and you're listening to the Bed Project Podcast. This show is a little bit different than other shows out there, so if you want an in-depth understanding of what it's about, please listen to episode 292B. It'll give you all the details for the show and what to expect. So, that being said, here is today's episode. Tell you what, man, sometimes recording this show is just the most inconvenient thing, and the last thing I want to do all the time. It's so frustrating sometimes. Whatever. The things I do for the people who aren't even born yet, huh? So yesterday, which seems like forever ago that I recorded a show on here, I have to double check to make sure that was yesterday. It was yesterday, right? Feels like I did not record a show yesterday. Well, anyway, yeah, I recorded 294 yesterday and also recorded one of the new podcast. And it went not as good as I had hoped, but it was my first video recorded show talking about a kind of newer things and trying to not be goofy and unprofessional and shit like that, but didn't succeed in that. So I got a lot of work to do there, but I was able to be myself. You know, I wasn't trying to be someone I'm not. I wasn't saying bigger words or trying to act a certain way. I was just being me. So, you know, that's great. So it's cool. But here's what I wanted to talk about today. So, and like every show, about 10 minutes before I started recording, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. So I clicked record. Here we are. But when I was recording the show, let me back up. After recording the show, it's funny, I said let me back up, and then I went further into the future, whatever. So after I recorded the show, I put it into Adobe Premiere Pro. It's a software I use to edit the video. And fast forward a little bit more, I export the video and all that. So I don't have systems in place. I don't really know exactly the best way to do everything right now. It took me so long to do everything yesterday. Between recording the video and then the video stopped. Oh yeah, so the video stopped. My camera stopped recording halfway through. And so I only got the first 20 something minutes, 25 minutes recorded, and then the last 20 minutes were not recorded for video. Audio was captured because how I'm recording it right here is how it was captured. So thank goodness for that. So the YouTube video is only going to be video for the first half. But, you know, obviously the audio version on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff, those will be fine. But that sucks, dude. You know, first episode and it was cut in half. So lesson learned, make sure you can record full-length videos on your camera before you start recording. Turns out my camera has a cap of, I stopped recording before 30 minutes, but I was doing some Googling, and it turns out the Sony A7 Mark III can only record 30 minutes worth. And, you know, 30 minutes is a long time. But for what I'm trying to do now, I need more than that. So what I was reading some reviews and stuff of what other people on the internet had to say. And people just set alarms on their phones to go off. And when that happens, they just make a cut in their video and then continue recording. So might just have to do that or get some more equipment to fix that. But it's not a huge deal for me, you know. So it is what it is. So that's just something I'm going to have to be mindful of moving forward. But I now know that. So we're already learning and we're already improving. That's literally, we're already improving, you know. So that's cool to think about. So there's that. Stopped recording halfway through. That sucks. But yeah, so I put it in the video editing software. And so first of all, it took me about an hour to record, to get everything ready, and then take the SD card out of my camera, put it into my computer, upload the file to the editing program, and then put that video into the actual program itself to where I can edit and add effects or whatever. So about an hour for that. Then I watched it all the way through and then added some color grading, which is fancy talk for a filter, which is just trying to make it look better than it did, because it was very, as far as colors go, it was very cool and dark. So I wanted to make it a little bit warmer and lighten it up a little bit. But didn't account for the fact that I'm so close to my window, and my window plays such what the fuck was that? Did I just have a stroke? It plays. Okay, hold on. Rewind. Didn't realize that. Didn't take into account that my window. I'm so close to my window. There's so much light that comes from my window, and because it was later in the day, I lost some light during the episode, and because it was so gradual, I didn't really realize that until the very end. So the start of the episode, it is actually too bright, and then the middle of the episode, it's perfect. Then the very end, I think it's too dark. And it was funny because I must have been editing in the middle of the episode when it looked the best. That's why I made the changes that I did. So lesson learned on that. Make sure that the video looks good from front to back, or from start to finish, I should say, before you export it. If it doesn't, then fix it. So 2 lessons learned, right? So we're already off to the races with learning lessons. So hell yeah. And yeah, I'll have to document all this shit and make it. There's so many things I want to do, man. Not enough time. Fuck. I wouldn't say there's not enough time. I just can't be stretching myself in a million different directions. I got to focus on one thing, do my best to make that thing happen, and go from there. But anyway, so we learned that lesson, and I extracted about a, I don't know, 45-second clip from the whole show, and then I repurposed that and put it on my social media. And let's see. So in one day, and I'm sharing this not to beat my chest, as always, just sharing to document. Oh, what's up, Gary? Hey, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up, Gary. Just for a sec, bro. Jesus. Okay, so we go to my page. So we've got... Dude, can I just view the insights? Dude, can I just view the... Dude, I'm getting pissed. View insights, dude. Okay, so we have 510 views. That's crazy. 21 likes, 0 comments, 2 shares. I know who those were. I think it was me, and then Breed Lions Apparel. So it's just Breed Lions. And then we have 4 saves. So that's cool. 121 accounts reached. 48% of them were following me. 51% were not. So there's 255 plays, 81 replays, and the average watch time is 13 seconds. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, that's that. So that's how I did my first day. And dude, shut the fuck up. I have 108 followers, and I am following 71 people. And it looks like I've reached 209 accounts in the last 30 days, according to the analytics of my profile. So just sharing to, get a little snippet of where I'm at to get those numbers, whatever. So cool. I put that out. Dude, I'm just putting shit out there to see how it does, to see what I can improve on, and just learn as I go. So not really expecting any big return. Also, I posted that on my main account, but I have to make the other social media account, because I'm going to make that the account that I do everything on. And I might delete this one, I might whatever. But I was reading up on social media accounts. Apparently it's better because I've been so inactive on the one that I'm currently on, and I rarely ever post. Let's see. So I've got 17 posts. My first post was May 29th, 2022. And then it goes to August 3rd, 2022. Then it goes to September. And it goes to March 4th, 2020. So I make a post once every 4 or 5 months, right? Lately it's been more, but that's about the average. So 17 divided by 2.5. So, hey Siri, what is 17 divided by 36?
17 divided by 36 is approximately 0.4722.
I don't need to do that math, dude. 36 cut in half is 19, or 30 is 18, and that's pretty much. So, I whatever. Anyway, about a post every 2-3 months. That's pretty much what I'm trying to get at. So I was reading up, and it says if you're inactive and you don't post that much, the engagement is kind of suppressed because I guess it registers that your account is not, I guess the algorithm picks up that your account is not active and it doesn't produce content, and it's not a creative account. It's a consumer account. So it doesn't push my shit out there. And I've read that a few places, don't really know the validity of it. There's so much shit that goes around with social media and what's good, what's bad, whatever. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I picked up. So I'm going to, for the 487th time, start a new Instagram account. And it'll be cool because we'll actually start from absolute zero. And as far as the social media following goes, and we can see that grow in real time, so we can do some documentation. See, that's so fucking cool, man. We're starting from scratch here, so we can document everything from ground zero, and we can do some weekly reviews on social media and see where I'm at and how my account's growing, what I did to grow it, etc. So, yeah. But the thing that I wanted to talk about on this episode that I haven't yet is just I need systems in place. I got to follow that shit. I need to be a lot more structured. And this is going to be such a fucking grind, and I'm quite literally not prepared for this. You know, I hate to think that I bit off more than I could chew, and I do not feel that way. I feel like I bit off so much, and I just don't have sharp enough teeth right now. That's kind of how I feel. So, just another way of saying I have my work cut out for me, but I don't really know how to do the work quite yet, as best I can. So the reason why I say that is because yesterday I had extra time in my day to get things done. So I had, instead of from about, 3:30 to 4 p.m. to 8 o'clock, which is the normal time that I have after work and the gym to work on my stuff, I had a rest day yesterday, and I got off work 3 hours early. So that means I got home around like 11:30-ish. Or what time did I get home? About 11-ish, I think. 11:15, something like that. So I had from 11:15 to 8 p.m. to get all this done. And it took me about 6 hours to record the show, the podcast, record the normal show, which is this podcast, write about it, upload it. And then it took me more time to, well, first of all, this show, The Bed Project, was a longer show yesterday. It was like 46 minutes. But the other show was 40 minutes. So that took some time. And then I had to rewatch that, then color grade it, and then splice up a clip from that so I could put it on Instagram just to kind of put it out there. And then I also got some still image shots as screenshots, if you want to call them that, from the video. So now I can use that as more content. And all of that took me about 6 hours. Now here's the thing, dude. I don't have 6 hours after work in the gym. I don't have that much time. So if I'm going to do a video podcast, that's going to have to be done on Fridays, or hold on. It's going to have to be done on every other Thursday and every other Friday. So once a week still, but because every other Friday I don't work Hill Air Force Base, which means that Thursday before I don't have to go to bed until around midnight. So that gives me a shit ton more time in my day to get the things done. And then if I do work Hill Air Force Base, full-time job on Friday, that means I work FedEx the next day, which means I get off an hour earlier because it's a short day for me on every other Friday. And then I don't have to wake up, or I don't have to go to bed until midnight. So every other Thursday, every other Friday, those might have to be the days where I pump out a video for the other podcast and also make content. You know, so yesterday I actually started recording a second show, so that would have been 294B, but it wasn't coming out the way that I wanted it to come out, and I was very frustrated, and it wasn't a good show, so I was like, I'll just talk about it tomorrow. And so here we are, I'm talking about it today. But yeah, that takes me a lot of time, and it shouldn't take me that much time. I need better systems in place. I got to get more organized. I need better structure. I need to know what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to say. A lot more better than I do now. A lot more better. See, proof, dude. Perfect example. More better. Great. A lot better than I do now. Because right now I've just been winging it with this show. I never have scripts. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But with the other show, I'd like to be more organized so that I can minimize the editing time and get my point across better, sound a lot more professional, and hopefully speak in a way that I can clip that little segment of me talking and repurpose it for social media. And something that I realized today, because I made, so a little segue, today I made a Twitter post, a template for a Twitter post, which if you don't know what that is, they're all over social media. It's pretty much a screenshot of a Twitter post that's posted on Instagram, but it's not actually from Twitter. It's just made to look like it is. So I made that template again because I used to post those back in the day when I was doing this. And it was a very easy way to get some content out. And so I'm trying to make it easy right now. So that's what I'm going to do. So I spent about an hour and a half making the template today from scratch and just messing around with some ideas. Because the way I look at a lot of this stuff is first time for everything. It's probably going to take me a bit of time to make the thing how I want to make it. But after that, I don't have to ever touch it again. Like, for example, I have this template. I don't have to edit anything or change anything except the text. That's it. So all I have to do is, what the fuck was that? I'm glad that was not video recorded. So all I have to do is come on here, type the text in. So 5 steps to this, 7 books that changed my whatever, how to blah, blah, blah. And I can just pump them out. Just like that, boom, boom, boom. I can make 3 pieces of content instantly. And honestly, I could probably make 10 in 10, 20 minutes. Because if I'm going to change out the photo and make it better, add a little bit of effort into it, I can get 10 posts made out of just one little session. So that's cool. So that's what I did today. But going back to what I was just talking about, I need better systems, better structure. I need better organization. I need to know what I'm doing when and when to get it done. Because if I only have 1 day per week to get something like this done, that now becomes the most valuable day. Because if I don't have content to put out, that's not good. Content is king right now for me because nobody knows who the fuck I am. Because they don't know me, they can't trust me. Because they can't trust me, they're not going to pay me. And because they're not going to pay me, I'm going to be doing all of this for free forever if that's what happens. So got to get the shit going and I need to prioritize it. But I had this little revelation today when I was making the Twitter post because I was like, hold on. So if it takes me 6 hours to do all that, and it shouldn't, by the way, it should take me a lot less. Like, take this show out of it. It should take me 5 hours, right? So should only take me about 4 max to record an hour long. Like, think about it. Record an hour long show. Hold on. 30 minutes to write the script, if that's what I do. So 20 to 30 minutes to write the script. An hour to record the show, if it's that long. Yesterday's was 40 minutes. So we'll say it's an hour. So we're an hour and a half now. And then an hour to edit it. Okay. We'll say an hour and a half. So now we're at 3 hours. And then that's pretty much it. And then I can go back and splice some pieces of content. I should do that along the way. So, 3 hours, 3.5, if the episode is an hour long. But if it's not, for every 1 minute that the episode is, it would be 2 minutes off the total time because 1 minute recorded is also 1 minute spent editing or watching the video again. So if it's 30 minutes, then it would be a total of an hour. If it's 1 hour, it'd be a total of 2 hours. So if the show's an hour long, about 3 to 4 hours ish, right? To get everything done. But here's the thing. I can do all that. I get the YouTube video and the podcast. That's 2 things. Boom. So I get YouTube podcast, the video, and then I get the Spotify, Apple Music podcast. So that's 2 things. Then from there, I should be able to get, depending on what I'm talking about, I don't know, 3 to 10 little clips from the whole show that I can then repurpose. So we'll just aim kind of on the low end. So if I can get 5 while talking about actual shit, if I can get 5 things that I can repurpose, just a 10-minute blurb of me saying, bench press is this and I like this because blah, blah, blah. Here's my tips to yada, yada, right? It's just some basic shit. Doesn't have to be perfect, just to get some content out there and to get me seen, my name heard, etc., all that shit. So if I can get 5, that means we got 5 social media posts, we got a YouTube video, and we got a podcast. So that's 7 things. Here's the other thing. I can then take the video, get some screenshots from the video, and use those for background or for other photos or still shots for actual posts. And I can use that for more content. So obviously there's only so much I can do there because it's all going to be me at my desk with a microphone, with my laptop. It's not going to be, there's no variety there. If I'm running a fitness page, me sitting behind a desk on my laptop doesn't really work, right? However, I'm not really doing just fitness. There's a lot more that's in play here, but the point still stands. There would be no variety. So I could probably use 1 per week. So either way, I would be able to get, because for example, I took 12 screenshots of the one yesterday that I made. The video podcast, took 12 screenshots, and they're all high quality. They look nice. It's just cool shots of me that I thought looked good. And yeah, I mean, that's it. So that gives me the video, the podcast, 5 social media clips, and pretty much infinite photos. So we'll just say 20, but I'll only post 1, maybe 2. And then from there, it's okay. So right there, we've got 5 social media posts. 6. Okay, hold on. I'm going to explain. I feel like I'm kind of confusing myself here. So we have the YouTube video, the podcast, 5 clips, and then 2 photos, 20 photos, whatever. We'll just say 20 because that's what it is. So right there, we've got about 27 pieces of content that I now have from 1 4-5-hour session. That's excellent. Now what I need is variety. So how do I add more variety? So that's where the Twitter post comes in. So I think of a photo of me or you, whatever. Take a photo, put it on Photoshop, then put a white square over it, but you can still see the border of the photo, and then make that the Twitter post. So it's just a photo of me, nice professional photo. It's got a white box in the middle. You can still see me on the outlines, and then it's got text, and that's where the value comes in. So I can make a shit ton of those. So if I make 10 in a half hour, then that 27 just went up to 37. So I can make 37 pieces of content from that one big batch of content creation. Now that's just that for one day from just the podcast. So if I were to apply that same, is this recording? Holy shit. Yep, we're good. So if I were to apply that same, strategy on another day of the week, maybe I go to the gym, or maybe it's me. Dude, I have no idea. Honestly, that's where I get stressed out. I'm like, what the fuck else am I going to do? I have no idea. See, I'm focusing on other steps right now. All I got to do is what I know how to do, figure out how to do that better than I do now, and then move on to the next thing and then do that better. I don't know. I overthink the hell out of things. But yeah, so from one day, I, in theory, should be able to get 37 pieces of content. Now, my idea for now, just to keep it simple and for kind of a certain aesthetic, is to, on Instagram, how it's a grid. There's 3 columns, obviously. One column would be the Twitter posts, and it would follow a certain color theme, just so it's aesthetically pleasing. No other reason. And then the middle column, or the second column, would be the videos, but those videos would have the free shit or whatever tied to it, because that's a huge thing I'm trying to focus on, which is more work I got to do. And then that third column might be just like gym photos or lifestyle photos, or I don't know, tips, trick, whatever, you name it. So if that's the pattern I follow, if I go every 3 posts, that means from one day, from 1 5 to 6 hour or 4 to 5 hour session of making content and the YouTube video, etc., all that shit, that means that I would get 2 to 3 videos. So if I'm posting once a day, which I'm going to for now, it's crazy because other people post between all social media stories, all social media 300 times in one day. or excuse me, in a week. And if I'm going from 7 a week to 300, I'm going to need a team probably to get that much and to be the quality that I want. And also I'm going to need a lot more time to do that because I have 4 hours a day to make all this happen. So anyway, right now, just do one a week. So if I can get 2 to 3 videos, all I need is 2 to 3 videos, 2 to 3 Twitter posts, and then 2 to 3 whatever else the third one will be. And if I can get over half of that in one day, well, here's the thing. I get 37 posts. Hey, my laundry's done. I don't know if you can hear that. I get 37 posts in one day. So in theory, I get a month's worth of content. Holy shit. From one session of content creation. So like I'm good, but I want more variety, right? So it's going to stack up and I'm going to have quite a pool of shit that I can draw from, which is cool. So if I do this, then again, on paper, I will have about at least 120, 140. I think actually it'd be 148, 158, 37 times 4. 148. Is that right? Yeah. 148 pieces of content from 4 sessions of making content. And that would 148 pieces of content, that I'm good for 5 months right there. You know? So I need to make so much shit that I'm good for months so that sometimes I don't have to worry about it, you know? Because right now, more than ever, I need time. So much so that I'm dancing on the line of just pulling a plug with FedEx because my fucking manager, dude, is such a horrible leader. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Hope he's listening, dude. So shitty. Bad at communication. Smells like fucking BO all the time. Dude, he's left me on red the last week. And now that I'm trying to talk to him tonight, he's like, oh, hey, sorry, man. I got to go. Have a good night. No, you don't, bro. You're just being caught not answering my shit. Smells like shit. Horrible attitude. Not a good leader. Horrible communicator. Fuck, man. Gets me frustrated, but it is a great reminder of the type of leader that I do not want to be. So everything happens for a reason. You just got to see the good in it, right? So anyway, yeah, I'm dancing on that line of pulling the plug with FedEx. Financially, that would blow, but that would give me 64 hours more per month to get this going. Like the thought that I wouldn't have to wake up early tomorrow to go to work for 8 hours. I could stay home and work 16 hours on my own thing. That sounds glorious. And, you know, who knows, man? I don't know. Grass is always greener, but right now that sounds incredible. But I'm going to play it out because everybody else at FedEx right now is awesome. Shout out to Mike. I like Mike. Shout out to Jared. I like Jared. Everybody else, pretty cool. I don't really know everybody that well. I go and do my shit, leave. But manager now, for the sake of keeping this guy a little secret, fuck this guy. Straight up, dude. I actually have a whole phone call. We're gonna put this on blast real quick. I have a whole phone call because I record everything now, man. I mean, I've gotten phone calls while I'm recording a show, or not while I'm recording, while I'm at my desk with the voice memos app open. So I just click record. So like I've got a whole phone call of me and my boss talking about kind of the shitty leadership from my manager, like right here. I hope.
I'll say there are a couple things I noticed. Give me a call and we'll go over it real quick.
Like he knows
I want to start here.
Anyway, I just have so much shit recorded because I don't know who to trust. So if anybody says, "Oh, I didn't say that," it's like, well, yeah, you did because I have it recorded, buddy. You know. That's neither here nor there. It's just something that I do now, but whatever. People are fuckers. So anyway, dancing on that line of should I quit? Should I keep going? When you know, because, yeah, man, it's just so frustrating. It's doing me more harm than good. I genuinely love driving FedEx on the weekends, but dude, sometimes it's rough. And when you get a shitty leader in charge of everything, it just makes for one hell of a time. So we'll see. But anyway, whole point of what I'm trying to say with this show specifically is if I'm going to do this, I got to commit head on. I need to really take in that this is going to be one hell of a grind, because yesterday was just the first day of just one thing that I have to do. That was one, like, dude, think about this. If I'm talking about this one day of social media and podcast and video recording, and I will say that I am doing a lot of things at once. Like I got a YouTube channel, I guess I'm working on. I got 2 podcasts now. I'm writing about both of them every day, trying to make things look nice, trying to extract those videos, make social media content. And then from there, I can take photos. Then I can repurpose all of that into Twitter posts and then repurpose those still shots from the screenshots or whatever you want to call them for more content or for stories or for background, whatever. That's just social media. That's just content. That's something that's the lifeblood of my whole fucking existence as being a brand and someone who's trying to market services. That's like the whole backbone, you know? So that's something I have to do. And content only goes so far. So I'm going to have to message people, and I'm going to have to message people every day. So what I did yesterday will be accompanied by me messaging however many people per day. Right now, I don't know if 100 is realistic for me. And I hate saying the word realistic because nothing is impossible. But 100 people, and if I do have work at work, if I do have to do shit at work, you know, poor me, right? I'm not going to be able to message 100 people at work, which is the goal. And because if I do 20 people an hour, that's going to take me 5 hours. And right now I can afford to do that. But if I actually have work to do, maybe I could get 5 to 10 for 6 hours. So, you know, that's 30 to about 60 people. And then I'm going to have to finish that at home and also reply to all the people that I messaged the day before and that previous day. Fuck. So a day like yesterday combined with all the messaging of people, because that's going to be my main source of reach, right? Of marketing, is cold outreach. You got to do what you got to do. You got to start somewhere. You know, maybe there's a better way. But as far as doing it for free and only spending my time because I don't have a budget for ads or anything like that, this is the best option I can go with right now. And again, I will succeed as long as I do not quit. And all I need is 2 clients a month to be able to quit FedEx and be jolly in that regard. So there's that. But that's just 2 things, man. You know, if I'm going to make other content with the gym, then I'm going to have a gym session spent recording something. If I'm going to make content on nutrition, then that's another day spent filming or recording or whatever for stuff in the kitchen. If I'm going to, I don't know, man, you know, so that's 2 days. That's not even considering all the things that I would have to. I want you to know that I did not pause the show to cough. I kept it in here because I want to reinforce the fact that this shit's not edited. So whatever. But, you know, this is all just working on the business. I got to work in the business too, right? I got to be the coach because that's what I'm doing. I got to adjust macros, change workout plans. I got to, talk to the people who sign up. I got to help them out. Obviously, I mean, I'm really actually fucking hyped about that. It's so sick. You know, I got to make more stuff for the program. I got to make better content. And then with the free things I want to give away with every podcast, that's more work I got to do for that. And I'm cool with accepting that it might take me a full afternoon to make something so good that I could give it away for free that somebody else might pay for. There's a lot of great tools out there now that assist in making these things high quality and rather quickly. So that might be a whole day itself there too. So dude, can my voice stop cracking? That'd be cool. So if we have a full day of content creation per week, maybe 2, and then we have a full day or 2 of working in the business as the coach, you know, because I gotta work in the business and I gotta work on the business. I got to work on growing it. And I got to work inside of it to keep the people and to give them or fulfill the promise that I'm making. So if that's 2 to 3 days, making more stuff, making better guides, fixing bugs, fixing errors, other phone calls. Here's the other thing that I didn't even think about. If I am messaging, it's easy math. If I am messaging 100 people a day, which probably won't be to start, probably be closer to 30, 40, 50. But for easy math, if I'm messaging 100 people per day and I get 10% of those people to schedule a call, that means, and let's say half of those actually show up for a call, that means, so 10% of 3,000, which we'll just say 1,000 people a month. It's easier math. If I get 10% of those people to schedule a call, that's 100 people. So that's 100 time slots of availability that I need to have open per month. And if each call is half hour, then that is 50 hours worth of time availability per month. Tell you what, dude, I do not have that. I've got that in 2 weeks. And that's all my time. So if all of them showed up for the call, they wouldn't. But if they all did, 100 people showed up for a half hour call, that's 50 hours. That's 2 weeks of my time that I would have to give up. So that's 2 weeks, in theory, that I wouldn't be able to work on fucking anything. I would just be taking phone calls. But here's the cool thing. If I sell 10% of those people, which is, 10% of 1,000, that's 100. 10% of 100 is 10. If I sell just 10 of those, 10, right? And it's at $1,000 for the 16-week program, which is $250 a month, which is very cheap for a fitness and nutrition program, not to mention all the other shit that I'm throwing in there. That's 10 grand, right? So 10 grand, I guess what I'm trying to say is I would be sacrificing working on the business and in the business and everything else I'm doing to make the 10 grand. But if I am making the 10 grand, and that is what's going to happen, I'm quitting everything. I'm quitting all my jobs. I'm saying I'm going all in on this. Because if I can make 10 grand in the next, if I can make 10 grand in 1 month, in the next 6 months, I'm going all in on this. I'm quitting all my jobs. Not even a second thought. Oh man, I'm gonna go into a little tangent here, but most jobs are great for most people because most people have average goals, average dreams, and want to play it safe. Most people have the jobs that they do because they have such great benefits and such great insurance, and their retirement is great, and they have a pension, and they have great work-life balance, and they have every holiday off, and they have every other Friday off, and the hours are great, and they have a 5-hour lunch. If that's your goal, that's great. That's not my goal, so none of that shit applies to me. So my best option is to go head on with what I'm doing because that's a better outcome for me. I don't even put money into retirement right now. I'm going to be a multimillionaire, and I won't need that shit. That's that's the hottest take I can probably give right now. I'm not putting a penny into my retirement because I know money will not be an issue for me. And that's a very hot take to say, it's a very hot take. There is so much belief in myself to say that out loud. There's so much confidence in myself to say that out loud that it's people just see that as arrogance for sure. If I walked into work and I said, "Hey guys, I don't actually withdrew from retirement because I'll be a multimillionaire," everyone would be like, "Okay," and that's fine because they don't have the capacity mentally to comprehend such massive goals. Because if the people that I work with are 30 years older than me and we're in the same exact position, financially, right? Because if there's a 50-year-old working with me and I'm 20 years old, we're making the same amount of money, but they're 30 years more further along in life. Double my lifetime and a half, and I would still be in the same exact position I am in now. Fuck that. No way. Imagine where you're at in life right now, Mr. or Mrs. Listener, and imagine being in that same exact spot maybe $2 more an hour in 30 years from now. Fuck that. And people settle for that like it's nothing. That's crazy to me. So the benefits, the retirement, the insurance, the this, the that, the balance, whatever. I just want to work, dude. So I would literally quit 3 jobs to then work even more so that I could get my dreams and whatever. Because if I can make fucking 10 grand a month doing this with no time at all to do it, world's my oyster, dude. So a little tangent for you. You just think for yourself, man. If your goals are fucking huge, the system was made, the system out there for education, for business, for finances, for whatever, it was made for the average person with average goals. A lot of that shit applies to average people. And if you're average, more power to you. A lot of people don't want to be that though. Like for example, the average life expectancy is, 70 something in the US? Think about what the average person does. Average person's fat as fuck. Average person has X amount of diseases, X amount of illnesses, sicknesses, whatever. Average person doesn't go to the gym. Average person doesn't drink close to what they should for water. Average person drinks every weekend or every day. Average person smoke, whatever the hell it is. I don't know the statistics. But yeah, if that's the average, then it makes perfect sense why the average death rate is 73 years old or whatever it is. Like, no shit. But if you're not trying to be average, a lot of these things don't apply to you, Like so many of these companies offer great retirement plans, great benefits, because you need those things because it's way too expensive to have that shit anyway. And if you want to retire and never work again when you're 65 or whatever it is now, then you probably should save for retirement. But if you plan on being a multimillionaire and you truly believe that you will, I don't think you should waste any time subscribing to all this nonsense because it doesn't apply to you. And you have to believe so much in yourself to even think that way. But shit, dude, you're either right or wrong. Either way, man, I'd rather go after what I believe in. I'd rather go after what I want to achieve in life. I'd rather go after what I want so fiercely and be dead ass wrong than to have lived I don't even want to get into it, man. It's so frustrating. People are just fucking lazy, dude. Whatever. That's the show. I'm done. Love you guys. I will talk to you tomorrow. And yeah, I'm tired as hell. Oh, also, it's August 9th, 10:04 p.m., 2024, Friday. And this is episode 295, I think. So, peace out. If you haven't already, please go check out episode 292B. It explains what this show is about in depth. If you are a new listener and want to know what the hell is going on, why I sound like shit, why it's not organized, why it's not professional, 292B explains it perfectly. So go give that episode a listen if you haven't already. Thank you so much for giving my stuff a try, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode.